by our community and our country and the world. Actually, I have friends all over the world who never stop watching TCM. In fact, their kitchens their homes are filled with the TV on all the time with TCM, all over England. My God. I'm here to introduce a film, not to talk too much about much of what I've done, because this is about the group. So, because of nostalgia, I am thrilled to be invited to the TCM events. Anytime they want me, I'm here. I don't want to ask all of you a question, but will this be the first time that any of you have seen this film, The Group?
Right here?
You're in for a treat. You are. It was, as you may have remembered, if you were around that time, Mary McCarthy wrote a bombshell, a book. She was considered an intellectual writer and was revered. She always had a dream of being considered an intellectual. And this book sort of shocked everybody. It took her time to get it published, but it was published, and I think there were like 73,000 printing to begin with. And then after it was on the bestsellers list about 9 weeks, it made it. And booksellers were ordering 5,000 copies a day for the public. Because she was so acerbic and so brutal about her own knowledge and her past and her history at her own college. And everybody said Vassar, I guess it was Vassar when she was at school. But when the book came out, the reviews were all over the place. It was a bombshell. It bordered on pornography. It was a shock. There were so many subjects covered that had not been talked about much by families or the community. And so she was pilloried in many circles for writing this book. And as I remember at the time, I had come out of Best of Everything.
Woo!
And when you think about it, that was pretty tame compared to this. We had Jean Negulesco, who in fact directed Best of Everything. And my question was always, why did Sidney Lumet, a brilliant New York director who directed movies, and I listed them all here because they're so numerous and so brilliant, 12 Angry Men, Network, The Verdict, which won Paul Newman the Academy Award, Serpico, Pacino, Murder on the Orient Express, Failsafe, between political and all subjects that were fascinating and important. And it goes on. He directed The Pawnbroker, which you all remember was brilliant, Rod Steiger. Long Day's Journey into Night, Kate Hepburn. Running on Empty, which was River Phoenix, one of his films that you will remember. And so, why would he decide to do The Group? Which, if you read the book, it was tantamount to something that could have been like Peyton Place or melodramatic. It was so tough and brutal, but it brought up so many issues that, as I said, weren't talked about before. I think he was chosen because the producers had to, this was just my idea. I didn't hear this or read it from anybody. But I think they wanted to take the subject seriously, and they knew that if it was in the hands of a lightweight director, that it could border on just simply a magazine soap opera. So my feeling is that they wanted someone like Sidney Lumet to take it and tackle the issues and make it serious. So his casting was impeccable. And before you see the movie, I want you to know, if you haven't read it in your program, who were the actors in this film. And I read Candice Bergen, Shirley Knight, Joan Hackett, Elizabeth Hartman, who was so, I can't even explain, you'll see today when you watch the film, Joanna Pettit, Mary Robin Redd, wonderful name, Kathleen Widdows. And then you have Larry Hagman, a comedian who I worked with in a series for 12 or 13 episodes. Hal Holbrook. Robert Emhart, I've worked with many times in the past. Richard Mulligan and James Broderick, who is Matthew's father. So these actresses were acclaimed in their own right and were terrific. They were always had something strong characters to play. And in this particular picture, they are unique. Each one of these is perfectly fit for the part that they're playing. Jessica Walter, amazing. And so I think that being that they were cast, presumably with the director's intentions, he must have cast it perfectly. I mean, he did cast it perfectly, but I'm sure that they took his advice and cast who he wanted. And so then working with these actors, he was able to get performances that, in my opinion, were worthy of nomination for Academy Awards. I mean, at least 4 of them, and you will see today, are moments that are riveting. I mean, but the problem with the film, in my humble opinion, is that he tried to take too much and put it into 2.5 hours. And so delving into this individual stories was tough. So you have the group, which is titled perfectly because it's about the group. And in order to tell tell a story about a group of women, you have to move them around and you have to mix and film every one of them with some problem they have, which he did, I think, very well. But it's fast-paced. There isn't a moment, a breath between any of the scenes. It just keeps moving and moving and moving, and you never know quite where you're going to be the next minute. And it's all understandable. It works on a level. As to delving into each story, it's impossible. So what areas do they cover? Things that you probably